let's talk about like terms and what they are. Before we do that, we might as well talk about what a term is. I'm going to write an expression up here. 3x squared plus 2y minus 4xyz plus 2y to the fourth minus 6. Okay, so now what is a term? The way I want you to think about a term, this may not be the best definition, but it's one I know you'll understand. It's whatever is separated by a plus or a minus. So as I look at here, I see this 3x squared. Use the plus and minus. 3x squared is a term. Positive 2y is a term. Negative 4xyz is a term. Plus 2y to the fourth is a term. A number, no letter, no variable at all, that's a term. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different terms. Okay, so that's all a term is. So when you see an equation, if anything is separated by that plus or minus, that's a term. Okay? So now we know what a term is. The question is, what's a like term? And how do we deal with them and how do we combine them? That's going to be really important when we do our problems. Well, let's see. I'm going to write a 3x plus a 2x. Okay? Like terms mean they have the same letter and the same exponent, the same variable or the same exponent. We don't care about the number that's in front. That's called the coefficient. But we'll just say the number in front of the letter, okay? The coefficient in front of the variable. So the way you want to look at this is this. I have 3 x's and I have 2. In my hand right now, I have 3 x's. Somebody then took 2 more x's and put them in my hand. What do I have? I have 5 x's. Here's where people get confused. Do I write x squared right here? You don't. What if instead of x it said pens, okay? I have 3 pens in my hand and somebody gave me 2 more pens. What's in my hand? I have 5 pens. I don't have 5 pen squareds, I just have 5 pens. So when we do addition and subtraction, we don't square things. All we do is we just copy them over, okay? So don't let that be confusing. If I had something like 6y to the third minus 2y to the third, they're like terms because of the y to the third and the y to the third. It's the same letter, same exponent, so they're like terms. When they're like terms, you can just combine them. Just look at the number. 6 minus 2 is 4, and you just copy. You copy the term. I had 6y3s, 6y cubes. I took away 6y cubes. I'm left with 4y cubes. Okay, don't worry about any of the squaring or any of that. It doesn't work that way. Now, you may get equations where they mix them up on you, and they're not like. And you say, well, what do I do with them if they're not like terms? Well, let's give it a try. What happens if I get something like this? 3x squared plus 2x minus 2x squared plus 3. Okay, I'll just go like that. What I like to do is I like to underline the like terms. So I see I have a 3x squared, so I'm going to underline it. I have a positive 2x, and yes, please use the sign. Now, it has the same letter, but a different exponent, so he's not the same, so I'm going to put a little double underline behind him, okay? Now I have a minus 2x squared. Well, look, x squared, they're the same. So I'm going to give him an underline. And he's just a number. So I'm going to give him 3 because he's different from all of them. Take a look at your underlines and just match up what's the same. So I can look at this as 3x squared minus 2x squared, which would be a 1x squared. Now, in math, you're going to learn you don't need to put a 1 in front of the variable, okay? So it's okay to take that 1 out. Let's just assume that that's a 1. So we just write x squared, okay? Well, what do I do with the rest? Well, you can't combine the x, so you just copy him. And you can't combine the 3, so you just copy them, okay? If they don't have the same letter, same exponent, it's like apples and oranges. It's like cars and kangaroos. They just don't mix. You can't put them together. You just lay them out, and I'm done. I've now combined every like term I can on here, okay? Let's try one more. Let's mix it up a bit. Let's go 5x to the third minus 3xy. And let's go plus 2x squared minus 5xy plus 2x cubed. And let's find our like terms, okay? Well, here I get an x cubed, boom, okay? Great. I have an xy. xy is not an x cubed, so let's go ahead and double underline that guy. 2x squared, well, he's not like an xy or an x cubed, so he's going to get 3. Minus 5xy, ooh, that looks like that one. He had 2 underlines, so I'm going to give him 2 underlines. And 2x to the cubed, ooh, he looks like that one. So he gets 1 underline, boom. I've now identified my like terms by looking at the underlines. Some people, to me it gets a little confusing, but if your brain sees it better, instead of underlines you can circle, triangle, square, and you can use different shapes, and sometimes that helps you to see them too if the underline is a little confusing. Do whatever works for you, it doesn't matter, okay? So now, I'm going to start with my x to the third because we like to go in what we call descending form. Do the highest exponent first. So I'm going to go 5x third. I'm going to ignore all this, but I'm going to use this sign in front of this one. So it's really 5x cubed plus 2x cubed, which will give me a 7x cubed. Boom. I might even do that so I don't do them again on accident. Okay? Now I've got these double underlines. Ooh, this one's confusing. I have a negative and a negative. What do I do? Well, negative 3xy minus 5xy. We learned that when you have subtraction problems, just make them addition and change the sign. So it's really negative 3 plus negative 5. Signs are the same. Add them up and keep the sign. And make sure you copy the xy. Okay? And lastly, let's cross them out. Got them. I'm left with a plus 2x squared. And that, my friends, is how you combine like terms, okay? Don't forget that a number can be a term also, so if you have numbers, make sure you combine them as those as well. I'm going to have some study sheets for you and some practice exercises. Once you do a few of these, I think you're going to get the hang of it. Oh, one more thing. This is really important. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on the end like that so quick. What happens if there's not a number in front? This is also something that people get really confused on. What if I have something like this? 2x squared minus x squared. I see students do this a lot. They'll just go, oh, x squared minus x squared is nothing, and you're left with 2, and that's the answer. That's incorrect. Be careful not to make that mistake, okay? Remember, if you ever have just an x squared with no number in front, sometimes it's easier to just write the 1. Okay, you have to write the 1. It's assumed to be a 1. Now when I look at this, I go, oh, it's a 2x squared minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, and I have the x squared. That is the correct answer. Now, again, you don't need the 1, so you can go like that, and that's the answer. So be careful if you have something that says minus x squared or minus y. Here I have a 5y minus y. My answer is 4y. I had 5 y's, I took away a y, so now I have 4 y's. That's how you have to think about it. Okay, so now I think I got all the examples that'll help you out. Go for it, start learning your like terms.